Is it recording already?
Yeah, just in case you need another sound bite. Mic check, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I don't know why you think that's funny.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
You know, you and Michael Scott would have been great friends.
Red leather, yellow leather, red, yellow, nope.
Or wait, that and Dwight.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Michael Scott would have loved you. It's almost like the Andy situation.
Shamalama ding dong.
You let a mosquito in.
That's okay. I'll go and repent.
I don't know if the microphone's getting it because I feel like it is because I heard it. Every time that mosquito comes right here, you can hear the boo. Hello, everyone. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
Hello, everyone.
You say I'm Jade, and I say I'm Mike.
Oh, yeah. That was me then. Hello, everyone. I'm Jade.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Jade Mayhem. I don't know why I waited for you.
Story of your life.
You were... Okay. Don't want to go there, mister. This one, it might be short. It might not be, but it was a lot of research. It's Agartha Part 2, the Nazi connection, I guess.
One of the branches.
You know, it like going... fuck your branches, first off. But like going into this, it just kept going deeper and then deeper. I told you earlier. Then I was like, well, why this? Then why this? I feel like I got a history lesson. And this is not... I'm trying to think. I guess when some people... I like conspiracy theories. You like conspiracy theories. Do I believe them all? No. I just think they're interesting. But the people who are like, well, here's the facts to debunk your conspiracy theory, I feel like I'm going to be that person for you today.
Well, the Agartha, I guess everything, I like it because there's hundreds, if not thousands of different theories, different branches of the tree. People claim facts. People say facts, but there's no concrete hard evidence of anything.
No?
But you want to believe. I want to believe it.
Yeah, I don't. I'll tell you, I guess why at the end. Well, okay, back to part 1, which we didn't know it was part 1 until the end of it. That was the origin, right? That's what we determined it was, the origin of how Agartha came to be. Well, this is the origin of how the Nazi party, white supremacy, later on, white supremacy is associated with the Aryan race potential Agartha. Agartha, like this one is a smidge part of what I found.
Because Agarthians are supposed to be the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale people.
No, Aryan. Aryan.
Agarthian.
Okay.
Also.
Right, that's not what they're called in this. Not once did I see Agarthian.
So the people from Agartha are called Aryans.
No, that's where people believe that's where they are, is in Agartha. The whole time, even the origin one, the first one that I did, that not one time I heard Agarthians. I heard Aryan, we heard ancient civilization or a current supernatural, powerful civilization in Agartha.
Dr. Fiction calls them Agarthians.
Okay, well, Dr. Fiction can go himself because these are the actual facts. Because I also remember the first one who didn't agree with the term Agartha came up by one of the authors. He was the first one to name it Agartha.
I still don't want to accept it.
Okay, well, that's an actual fact that can be proven. Okay. The Nazi connection to the Aryan race and Agartha. In the last episode, did I mention Heinrich Himmler? I did. What did I say about him?
I don't know, but I recognize that name, and that's not a name I would remember.
I'm not sure if I said it in the last one. I might have talked to you about him. I can't remember, and I did not go back through. He was a German Nazi politician and military leader. He was one of the leading members of the Nazi Party. and he was one of the main creators for the Holocaust and for the small people percentage of people out there that was the massive genocide of Jews during World War II. Horrible time. I remember hearing you say the other day the SS.
Mhm,
So I'm guessing you know what that is.
mhm.
What is it?
That's like the elite German special forces.
Yeah. Chatty said it's a small paramilitary of the Nazi party that served as Hitler's bodyguard. Himmler was a part of that. The the SS had about 52,000 members. The members had to be verified if they were of Hitler's Aryan master race. You're about to say something? The the applicants had to have Nordic qualities. They were screened for specific cultural, professional, and personal traits like Scandinavian and Nordic, which consist of Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden, which I find odd because that's not Germany.
Um, Again, no facts, just my opinion. Blonde hair, blue eye from that area. And if you think back, way back before it was Germany, what were those what was their genetic makeup?
Mm,
It was just a bunch of different tribesmen.
I just know we all originated in Africa.
That's a branch of that tree. S Just like everything else I like, no facts, no concrete.
Okay. Well, Hitler created what is called the marriage order in 1931, and that was for his SS members. You ever heard of it?
No.
Um, if they wanted to marry, they had to provide genetic history, and every marriage had to produce at least 4 children. This would create the pool of genetically superior prospective SS members, the perfect race. Which I didn't put it in my notes, but I remember reading that it was a small percentage of the members actually got married, and the ones that were married ended up only having like 1 kid.
Yes, because there was a lot of testing and experiments ran on the children.
Their own children
They didn't do the experimenting, but government did, yes.
on the SS members' children,
Yes.
and it killed them. That's why they only had one.
No, well, but you have a child and knowing that you're gonna bring them into that? There's all of, like, the Nazi children bred to be part of the supreme race. Tests ran on them to make them superhuman.
So this program was called Lebensborn, means fount of life in English. This is what became the darkest chapter of Nazi
Leben?
regime. Lebensborn,
Hmm.
Lebensboron.
Lieben.
Okay, I did not. Okay, English first language here. So, this is what you're talking about. And this is like the darkest part of, well, it says the darkest chapter of Nazi regime, but I feel like that's a understatement considering what they did to the Jews. But the SS would kidnap hundreds of thousands of foreign children, primarily in Eastern Europe, that possessed Aryan physical features like blonde hair, blue eyes, taken from orphanages or from their parents, and they were forced in brutal physical and psychological evals, then placed with German families to be Germanized. In the end, that's not a direct lineage of the Aryan race, you know? Like, whatever. Hold on, give me a second. Himmler was the main reason for Nazi efforts to trace the Aryan ancestry. He was heavily interested in ancient myths, lost civilizations, and the origins of the Aryan race. And because of this, SS created the uh, Ahnenerbe, Ahnenerbe, Ahnenerbe. Well, this institution funded expeditions and research to support their racial ideology,
Mhm. I'm familiar with I didn't know the name of it, but okay. That's what paid for the trips to Antarctica.
basically.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Antarctica is part of it, but there's only one that I'm going to talk about because that's the only one that popped up. No,
Mm,
like I said, I came to a point where it was like, I got to stop.
mhm.
Nazis, some Nazis believed ancient civilizations possessed hidden knowledge that would reveal the origin and destiny of the Aryan people. This led to the expeditions to Tibet, Arctic, and other remote regions.
Because in Antarctica, they were looking for Agartha. In Tibet, they were looking for Shambhala.
Okay, yes and no.
Okay.
I don't know about Antarctica, but the Tibet one was Shambhala, but associated with Agartha.
Yeah, because they're all connected by hollow earth.
So the Aner Anunnaki, it was a Nazi-era research institution founded by Himmler under Himmler in 1935, and it studied the racial, cultural history of the Aryan people, and it sponsored the expeditions to its locations. Expedition?
Mhm.
Sounds foreign. There was a man who was chosen to lead the expedition to Tibet. His name was Ernest Schaefer. He was some kinda scientist, but he already been to Tibet. This is why he was chosen. He already been to Tibet twice, and so he was doing research. He was not in a line with the Aryan, trying to he didn't, like, in support of what they were going for, but they chose him because he was already familiar with the area, the people, the culture, and stuff, and that was
So, did you ever see the movie 7 Years in Tibet?
no,
Brad Pitt?
no.
I think that's who he plays.
Well, I've never seen the movie, but you
Mm.
could be right. Are you about to look it up? Well, I'm gonna keep going. Did you just disconnect?
See me anymore.
Okay.
Me. I'm back.
This expedition, I'm sure the others, but this was what came up in the notes, is the what fueled people's assumption the Nazis were looking for Agartha, either the entrance and or the superior Aryan race. So whether they were looking for it all,
Mhm.
basically. The on paper reason they went was for scientific research. Because Nazis sought the ancient homeland for the Aryan race, occult writers connected Agartha to the Nazi beliefs. Because of the suggested ancient Aryan ancestors, secret knowledge, advanced technology, spiritual powers. These claims come mostly from post war occult books rather than Nazi records. So the people that wrote about them speculated.
Let's be honest here. What kind of records were remaining after this was all said and done? There's not many Nazi records remaining.
Well, I wasn't there. Are you sure? Did they destroy all their stuff when they knew people were coming for them?
Yeah, and if not that, then when they surrendered, it was destroyed.
I think Hitler talked about it some in his what I read was his Mein Kampf.
Yeah, and then America and Russia came in and scooped up all the information they could for technology, along with all the scientists.
Well, a lot of these post-war occult books and these beliefs that came along with them, they turned into more information. Where Hitler escaped to Agartha, Nazis built bases below Antarctica.
Mhm,
Agarthan technology created flying saucers.
mhm,
Nazi submarines reached the entrance to Hollow Earth.
mhm,
Here's my thing. The Tibetan expedition happened right before World War II. It started in 1938. They came back in 1939. If they did reach such society, high-powered people,
mhm.
why'd they lose the war?
Just because doesn't mean they're gonna share their technology.
Mhm. Well, these theories that I just said
Mhm,
came decades after the war.
mhm.
It wasn't it was at least 20 years later.
Are we gonna talk about them?
I just did.
Like which one?
No, I'm not going into them.
Oh,
Like, what about it though? Like you can
yeah, well, name one of them.
Hitler escaped to Agartha,
Yeah, so what's the nearest land to Antarctica?
Argentina.
Exactly. And that goes with all the rumors how he escaped and went to Argentina, and if you could go to Argentina and look, there's a lot of Nazi, like, swastika stuff, there's a lot of German influence.
I'm not saying he
Yeah.
didn't go there. which it could be a possibility, but there are things called boats.
Mhm. There's a tunnel that connects Argentina to Antarctica. What's the next one?
That's just people saying that.
They also say about the dude who walked up to a river and raised his arms and the river parted and walked through it and led people through it, but people get to believe that?
Do you?
I believe a lot of things.
I
Mhm.
believe I can fly.
Alright, what's next?
Nazis built bases below Antarctica. If that is true,
Mhm.
then why are all these countries on Antarctica okay with Nazis being below there?
Do they have a say-so?
I imagine they
Yeah.
would.
Why has no country ever claimed
We
Antarctica?
discussed that in the last episode how, yes, there's some supernatural crap
Mhm.
or, what's the word?
'Cause it's already claimed.
Yeah, but not by the fucking Nazis.
Alright, next.
Agarthan technology created flying saucers.
Yeah, next.
How? But where's your documentation that you
All the
heard?
UFOs that get sighted around,
You
they
think
have to all be aliens? Some of them could be Agarthians.
I don't. I no.
Alright, next.
Nazi submarines reached the entrance to Hollow Earth.
Okay. So, at the end of World War II, there were over 100 submarines unaccounted for. Some naysayers will say it's because they sunk themselves rather than being captured at the end.
Probably.
Some of them say the commanders self detonated themselves to go down, whatever. But the Germany was defeated, but the SS never surrendered, right? 100 U boats missing, full of the remaining SS, all loaded up, and they went to Agartha.
Or they did what you said, where they took their own lives and they went down with it and they just took themselves in the deep, deep blue, dark, black ocean that no one's been a part of. I know sometimes little boys like to have imaginary scenarios going on in their head. For the expeditions,
Mhm.
what were the Nazis looking for? Obviously, we already know, but they wanted hard evidence. They wanted and they wanted the fuck. They wanted the evidence that Aryans were an ancient master race. Like they wanted confirmation. God, words are hard. Confirmation. And then that Germanic, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Germanic.
sure.
Germanic people were descendants from them. And Atlantis, Hyperborea, Thule, or other legendary lands were connected. That's what they wanted to know.
Mm,
That was top reasons. The Aryan race ideology, there's 5 top influencers. So we know that Heinrich Himmler and Adolf Hitler, but there are 3 more. Have you heard of these 3 guys? Richard Walther Dar, Herman Worth,
mm-mm,
Carl Maria Willagut.
mm-mm,
Okay. Richard, he promoted blood and soil concept linking race, ancestry, and land, wanting to preserve what he viewed as Germanic lineage. Herman was one of the many founders of Anunnaki, believed civilizations were the source of Aryan culture, attempted to connect the myths, symbols to a prehistoric Aryan homeland.
What symbols?
Oh, I didn't look at that. You're talking about the swastika?
No, I just wanna know. They said symbols,
Yeah, well, I
ancient
kept going
symbols.
down some I even, like, when I wrote my notes, like,
Mhm,
let's say this was part of my notes and then I moved on the next, I would highlight in red to go back and research further, and that's how I kept going more and more and
mhm.
more. So we're just gonna leave it at that, and we can look into that.
UFO symbols.
Carl claimed to possess ancestral memories from thousands of years ago, influenced Himmler's interest in Germanic mythology and mystical ancestry. There was something I was gonna say. You interrupted. It made me forget. Hold on. Who was the first to get obsessed with the Aryan race? People think it's Hitler, but it was actually a common Germany nationalist concept. It was just something that was played into, and then Himmler
Mm,
like dove into it deeper. Um, 19th century writers heavily influenced Nazi thinking. argued that civilization was created by superior races and declined through racial mixing. Germanic people were purest descendants of Aryans and major creators of European civilization. I wondered how Aryan people come to play when influencing the genocide. Because I was like, how did we get there? So I found that German nationalism was on the rise in 1800s and 1900s. So I guess for a century. You know this?
No, I'm following.
Okay. It was a movement called Volks Volksik.
Volks, people.
It's Volksich.
Yep.
Okay. Um, which was the German ethnic identity, I think, or it has identify. So I wasn't sure if it was German ethnic identity or identify, and I mistyped the word. Ancient Germanic traditions romanticize ancestral heritage, mythical origins of the German people. A lot of the followers believe they descended from an ancient northern race. I might say this again, and hopefully I don't, but it seems they're just trying to find some sort. I mean, a lot of us want to know our geology. Like you have yours, I don't. I'd like to know mine, but it's interesting. But it's like they had to have a defined. This is where we came from, and I don't know if maybe someone got obsessed with the Bible, and it's like, oh, well, the Jews come from here. Now that I'm correlating that, maybe I don't know. Who fuck knows? Let's see. Yes. The Nazis combined the real linguistic discoveries about the Indo European languages, 19th century racial theories, nationalist ideology, occult, and mythological ideas. And Himmler was so obsessed over mythology and occultism, he believed the racial ideology as literal instead of politics like the other Nazi leaders. Where does this Aryan language come to play? Why are we into this? So here we are. The late 1700s, the Indo European language comes from European linguists discovering similarities between Sanskrit, which that was a part of the first episode, I think, right? Germanic, Greek, Latin, and other languages. William Jones, who was one of the most influential figures, he argued these languages come from a common ancestral source. And at this point, Aryan was referring to ancient Indo-Iranian people languages, not a race. But then people started, in the 1800s, they started to assume people who spoke related languages must also be the same biological race. And then there were two authors that argued the Aryan race had created most of the world's great civilizations and that Germans were the purest in
Mm.
language
Mhm.
and blah.
No, I'm following. But I think they were the second race. The first race, I think, was in Egypt.
The first Aryan race?
Well, the first master race
Oh,
who built the civilizations, and then it was the Agarthians and the Atlanteans. And the Atlanteans lost the war, and that's how Atlantis fell.
I think you grew up liking a lot of this and you still do of the whole mythical crap. I think this is more believable to you. During this doing this research and the more I was like, yeah, this it doesn't seem I but at the same time as I'm reading the research, I can hear you and then I can hear, well, how did conspiracies start? Everyone believed that Marilyn Monroe knew too much
Mhm,
and that she was pregnant.
mhm.
There's no hard evidence.
Yeah, but then who was she pregnant with?
We
Or
all know
who
that. Well, we all
well,
assume it.
which one?
Oh,
Yeah, and would it destroy the family if it
no.
was the other one?
Okay. Well, back to this. Um, so the German how did the Germans get connected to all of this? Didn't start with Hitler? Question mark. Germany unified in 1871. What does that mean? I don't know history like that. Because you have wasn't there the Russia thing? Was it called Prussia? Prussia?
Mhm,
Wasn't Germany a part of that at one point?
mhm,
Is that what this part is where they
mhm,
broke off from that?
probably so.
Okay. Well, then I know a little bit.
Well, a lot of people don't know Germans fought in the Revolutionary War alongside the, British.
Hmm. Okay. After 1871, when Germany unified. unified. Many nationalists wanted a superior ancient history for their people. Again, like we talked about before, they wanted some identity. Ancient Germanic tribes, Norse mythology, legendary northern homelands, myths of lost civilizations. These theories started to lead to, well, Germans started connecting these two theories of the fuck that word,
Hyperbole?
Thule Society Atlantis,
Tool? Thule?
mhm,
Tool.
other supposed Aryan homelands. And then by early 1900s, these ideas had evolved into Aryans were a distinct race. Germans were the purest surviving branch. Germanic people had found most advanced civilizations. Germany had a special historical destiny. Did I already say that?
Well, it's like they're saying they didn't have an identity or a past, so they made one.
Okay, so Adolf Hitler and Himmler, I forgot his name.
Heimlich.
Heimlich, Himmler? Heinrich
Mm,
Himmler.
yeah. That's what I said. What'd you hear?
Adopted these ideas to connect evidence to their beliefs. So there's his author, Joseph Arthur Comte de Gobineau, is kind of the main reason for 19th century racial ideology. He claimed civilization's rise and fall was according to their racial compositions. He classified humanity into three races. Do you know which ones? You want to guess?
White,
Mm-hmm.
black,
Mm-hmm.
Asian.
Yellow. Yeah.
Mm,
But it was listed white, yellow, and black. So I'm not sure if the order, and we know how history goes.
yeah. Where does brown fit in?
There's only three. This is really like the main reason for where we see people with their race issue now. Um, and he claimed that racial degeneration through intermixing caused societal decline. That just kind of like is crazy. Reading all this is like this makes not sense and why they went the way
Makes
they
you
went.
understand their mindset a little bit more.
Well, I don't understand it. It just shows the path of
Hmm.
how they got there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Um, Early 20th century racial theorists expanded and politicized his ideas, distorting them into doctrines of Aryan supremacy. Houston Chamberlain wrote a book presenting European history as a struggle between Aryan and Semitic races. 1899. Argued that Germans were the true bearers of Western civilization, when it's far to say Jesus was Aryan, saying he was white with blonde hair, blue eyes. Modern historians view him as the main link between 19th century racial romanticism and the genocidal ideologies of the 20th century.
Hmm.
The whole reason of going into all of this is my explanation of the Aryan people, the belief of this mythical civilization and how it was idealized.
Did you find anything about a map?
Mm-mm. With the Germans?
Yeah. Supposedly that they have, when they went to Antarctica, they found a map
Okay.
that shows the lands of Agartha and then the wall of land around Antarctica that's hiding the inner islands.
Did they actually go to Antarctica? Is there proof that they did?
There's not proof of anything.
There's proof they went to Tibet because we'll get there in a second.
Mhm,
Because of modern historians believing that he was the main link with the racial romanticism and genocidal ideologies of the 20th century,
mhm.
Nazi Germany was basically the poster child. It combined German nationalism, Aryan racial theories, antisemitism. Antisemitism? How do you say that? Antisem. Fuck, can you help me and stop staring at me?
I'm trying to say it in my head.
All right, fuck the word. Moving on. It was just saying against.
Anti-Semitism,
Yeah, you had
Semitism.
it. Let's just move it. Eugenics and social Darwinism.
I can guess what that is.
Okay. The Nazis portrayed the German people as members of a superior Aryan race while depicting Jews, Roma, disabled people, and others as threats. Let's go back to Tibet. This expedition, like I
I'm
said,
sorry. How are disabled people threats
I don't know. Maybe they were scared. I don't.
that they have superpowers?
They could. You know what? Disabled people do have superpowers. Again, the Tibetan expedition happened right before World War II started. Obviously, wait, who declared war?
I guess the Germans did when they just started invading countries.
Were they invading countries in World War II? Because wasn't that World War One? Wasn't World War II just them taking people and killing them? Like, was there more to it than just getting rid of the Jews?
I don't think you can say getting rid of the Jew.
I don't I don't mean it. I don't mean it like, oh my god. Um I would say no, you can't, and I shouldn't have. Sorry, scratch that. I'm not trying to be a certain way. I'm trying to understand World War II. Everyone understands it was the massive genocide of the Jews. But who declared war? Were they also trying to take land? Because wasn't World War One Germany trying to take land?
Mhm.
I don't think it was the same in World War II. And we all know, well, most people know, United States didn't join until we were bombed in Pearl Harbor.
Mm.
I guess that's for another time. Moving on. Uh, the objectives of this expedition were to study Tibetan geography, collect plants and animals, document Tibetan culture and religion, conduct anthropological measurements, gather information that might support Nazis' theories. I believe that's just a nice way of saying what really happened. That's the most controversial parts of the expedition. Specimens and photographs were collected. We'll just say that.
Mhm.
They met. The controversial part was measuring skulls, facial features, and physical characteristics of all the Tibetan people. Many researchers believe these measurements could reveal ancestry, intelligence, personality, or racial origins. The Nazis were trying to find evidence to their beliefs
Yeah, but why there?
because,
Shambhala.
hold on, there's something to do with that. Let me see. These, okay, well, we'll get to that.
You know how they measure, like, cranial capacity?
Thought it was just a measuring tape that doesn't.
No, because you got different bone density and everything, but, like, the cranial capacity, like, how big of a brain can be in there?
Mm.
BBs.
What?
Just like little BBs from, like, a BB gun. I mean, BBs can it hold. That's how they can get the size of the cranial capacity.
When do they do this?
Once it's already they're dead, it's a skull.
Oh, that's not how this was
Mm.
portrayed. I don't know. The expeditions, it's famous because of, so Tibet already had a mysterious reputation. The Aryan origin theories and lost civilization myths. It's it is said authors began expanding the story after World War II, that the Nazis found entrances to Agartha there.
Mhm,
They contacted hidden masters.
mhm.
They gained secret technology. The expedition discovered evidence of a hollow earth. They did not find what they were looking for.
Of course. If I found what I was looking for, I wouldn't tell anybody either.
This way of thinking, it supported the eugenics programs, forced sterilizations, racial discrimination, and genocide. Like the going to Tibet, all those theories and measuring,
Mhm.
because that's a lot of part in the Holocaust. They were experimenting on, especially, twins and doing stuff to people. And yeah, well, it led into all this. I mean, this led into all that. Later, some authors expanded the stories on the expeditions, but this was done years later, with most heavily influenced by the book The Morning of the Magicians. Sound familiar?
No, but I
It
wish it did.
popularized the idea that Nazi leaders were deeply involved with occult mysteries, Tibet, hidden masters, and secret knowledge. It credited to the launching of the modern mythology surrounding Nazi occultism, the today thing with the neo-Nazism and stuff.
Mhm,
The authors claim the Nazis weren't there just for Tibet; they were searching for Shambhala.
mhm.
Shambhala became linked to Agartha. Agartha became linked to Hollow Earth. Eventually, stories emerged to Antarctic bases, UFO technology, and hidden Aryan civilizations.
Hmm.
These connections were idolized because they were things that were known to be true. Agartha had already been written about. Shambhala,
Shambhala.
Shambhala, known for Tibetan Buddhist tradition, it's already a real thing. Nazi leaders showing interest in the ancient origin civilization, the expedition to Tibet. The whole thing, and this is the end of it. How we are here today, what you think you believe or heard the
Hmm.
conspiracies, is they grabbed onto what was true, what was assumed, and put it together. And that's,
Oh, it's almost like they would have wrote a book.
they did.
They call it the Bible.
We're not discussing that. You're going to piss off so many people. Yeah, I,
But if you believe in the Bible, then you got to.
you're really pissing off people. The people who believe in Jesus and read the Bible religiously
Mhm.
are not going to listen anymore.
Mm.
That was a bold statement. I do not believe in Hollow Earth. I do not believe in a civilization that lives underneath the earth. I do believe that there are tunnels that connect within America elsewhere. I don't know. Um, I'm not sure if the Nazis made it to Antarctica. I don't know. I'm not sure if they did, but I was, I don't know. I don't, all of this, I have my
Mhm.
own theories of other things, but I don't believe any of this.
I believe in that, and there's more than just that civilization. There's lizard people. They live in the ground.
What makes you believe that there's a lizard people? That's not even part of this.
I know, but I believe in lizard people.
Where's your facts to this?
Have any? There's other beliefs that don't have facts either.
Like what? A lot of people would say there's facts to what you're going to try to
Mm.
say.
All right, do your call sign. Your sign off.
I know what you mean. The next episode, I guess we'll talk about that pilot guy. I can't remember his name.
Is he an admiral?
You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the next one will be about him. This one took down too many rabbit holes and left me
Too many branches of the tree.
still not believing any of your fucking branches. But
Okay.
until next time, peace out, homies. See you on the flip side.
Bye.